right, welcome back again to the weekly market outlook of EQ Markets Global. This is 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗥𝗘, head market analyst for EQ Markets Global, and I'm super delighted to have every one of you here. You know how we do it every Monday, and I'm so sorry this weekly market outlook for this week is released a bit late. So sorry about that. Okay, but let's jump straight into business without any further ado. We'll start with the economic calendar for the week, and of course we have some handful of high-impact volatile news that we're expecting for this week. Of course, Monday, we are expecting only the highest impact news that we're expecting is a manufacturing PMI for the Chinese Q1, okay, coming out of China. And of course, that data has also been released and it was positive. For Tuesday, we will be expecting some interest rate review for the 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗥𝗘, okay? Of course, that's going to be more like a 25 basis point interest rate review, okay, from 4.10% to about 4.35%, 4.35% rather, okay, for the 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗥𝗘. So we also need to put that in mind. And then, of course, all day for Tuesday, which is 1st of August, we're going to be experiencing bank holiday for the Swiss franc. And then, of course, some PMI results will be coming out 3 p.m. for the United States, and as well some job opening and labor turnover survey reports as well, telling you that the amount of jobs that will be open for utilization by people in the US. And then, of course, by 11:45 p.m., we'll be expecting some employment changes and unemployment rates for the Kiwi, okay? That would be like 11:45 p.m. Nigerian time. We're expecting that news to come out for Kiwi as well. All right, then let me quickly take off this. Amazing. And then on Wednesday, we're expecting the ADP non-farm employment change. Of course, we know what the ADP non-farm employment change is. This is basically what talks about an automatic what basically talks about the NFP, all right, that we're expecting for Friday, all right. The ADP is more like a report released before the main NFP to mimic, all right, what possibly could happen at the main NFP. And of course, we'll be expecting that report on Wednesday, 1:15 p.m. Okay, so this is going to give us more like an insight or like a clue into what we're going to be expecting for non-farm payroll Friday. Then on Thursday, we're expecting CPI data for the Swissy, and of course, another bank rate review, interest rate hike for the pound sterling. Sorry about that. So for pound sterling, we're expecting as well another 25 basis point interest rate hike for the Great Britain pound. And then, of course, we will be expecting some unemployment claims, right? Since we're expecting NFP data to come out for the US on Friday, we'll be expecting some unemployment claims the day before, right? And that we'll be expecting 3 p.m., 1:30 p.m. rather, on Thursday. And then by Friday, which is the 4th of August, we're going to be expecting the NFP, which is a non-farm payroll report and data for the United States, and as well some employment changes and unemployment changes for the Canadian dollar. These are the news that we'll be expecting. Literally every day of this week is loaded with news, loaded with high impact news, except for Monday, right? Tuesday has the interest rate review for the 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗥𝗘, and of course, Jules report for the United States dollar, bank holiday for, I mean, a whole lot that we are having this week. So this week is going to be a very volatile week, and you will be needing extra caution, all right, for you to trade, especially if you are an intraday trader, okay, or you're a scalper. You'll be needing some extra cautions to trade this week. Now, let's quickly look at the dollar index and also the Japanese index, because of course I'll be touching a whole lot around these assets, okay? Let's start with the dollar index. Starting with the dollar index, okay, I've already mapped out zones where I'm expecting the dollar index to actually come into. Remember last NFP, right? We were able to break through below this zone, okay? And then of course a minor trend line as this was further broken, okay? Of course, we had the main trend line, okay? And then of course we had more like the counter trend line. And then this counter trend line was well respected as it took the low here and also took another low here, right? And then another one, and then we saw a break, right? So after breaking this particular trend line, right, it's almost expected that it was going to rebound, okay? We almost expected it was going to rebound, come back to retest, and possibly go all the way south, right? That's exactly what we were expecting. That's exactly what we were expecting from the dollar index. And of course, it has been playing out, except the fact that it has not come back to retest this particular zone. So I'm marking out that zone and I'm keeping it in mind that, okay, this is most likely where I am expecting the dollar to come into. Now, another thing that is of noteworthy why I'm expecting the dollar to come into is because there are a lot of imbalances here. If you watch closely, right, there are a lot of imbalances. The imbalances that are here had been taken out, okay? Literally all the imbalances that were here, right? It has been taken out as price is currently trading above that level. You can see that, right? So I'm no longer looking at those imbalances, right? I am on the overall, I'm looking at the imbalances that I can find here, right? I'm looking at the imbalances that I can find here. And of course, for me to know my point of interest, for me to know where prices will most likely be coming into, then I will be looking at particularly the other block here before the imbalance, okay, which most likely I expect that price will be coming into. Not only that, this aside looking at this other block to know my point of interest, I also can find that if price come into this zone, it is going to be coinciding with what the trend line where I'm initially expecting prices to come into. So this also actually makes so much sense. So hopefully before Friday, we'll be expecting the NFP news. I'm expecting that price, the dollar index would have rallied into this zone where we'll be expecting major stretch to the downside, okay? Now, if this happens, it simply means that NFP is actually a walkover. It simply means that on the day of NFP, we'll probably be expecting the dollar to weaken. And of course, if the unemployment claims, the JOLTS reports of Wednesday, and also the unemployment claims of Thursday would really help the dollar to drive into this zone, then that would be super amazing. Okay, so for this week, I'm expecting a little bullish push on the dollar and then a bearish push to the downside, a bearish stretch actually to the downside. That's what I'll be expecting on the dollar index, okay? Now for the Japanese index, as well, I am expecting some more bullish movement. Okay, I'm expecting some more bullish movement. Of course, we saw how this fell drastically, creating another all-time low. Okay, creating another all-time low, aside the one created sometime in 2022. Right, so we saw a multi-year low created on the Japanese index before we saw some level of recovery, and then we see prices now coming back to that all-time low. So what I'm expecting for the Japanese index this week is very simple. All right, where I'm expecting the Japanese index to most likely come into around the 771.4 level, okay, 771.4 level. This is where I will be feeling very comfortable to see a proper reversal, okay, maybe to this level here and then back above. So it simply means that the Japanese yen will still be weakened a bit, okay? There could be some level of recovery, but in the overall, if I see prices coming to the 771.4 level, then that will be super awesome for me, all right? So I haven't known this, okay? I haven't known the news we're expecting, I haven't known the dollar index, and as well the Japanese index, right? Pardon me that I did not touch other indexes, maybe the Great Britain pound, or the Euro index and many more like that. Pardon me, right? So let's quickly go into certain assets that I know that would I think would fetch money. Let me not sound so sure and so proud of myself. All right. So guys, let me share with you. You know how we do it, right? I always share with you some assets that I know that has greater potential of fetching you money. Okay. So I'm going to start with the Great Britain pound paired with the Japanese index. Okay. Sorry, compared with the Japanese yen. Okay, so the GBP JPY, all right, is one asset that is going to fetch you money, and I need you to look at these assets. Now, let me quickly explain to you while I feel that this asset is going to fetch you money, right? I'm looking at it on the 4-hourly time frame, but maybe I should scale up a time frame higher so that we understand what is really happening here, right? Remember this zone that was broken by the GBP JPY, right? This particular level, which is at 172.225. Now, if you really don't understand that level, let me tell you a story. You know, I always like to tell stories, right? So yes, this particular level here was a very significant and well-established high level, right? That's the 172.225, okay? It was a well-established level, okay? If you look at it, price have tested that zone first once, right? When it cleared out all this liquidity here. Let me scroll down. And when price cleared out all the liquidity here, this was the next liquidity zone that price went to set for us. And then, of course, we saw price came back to also test that liquidity again, but apparently it cleared it, creating another higher liquidity at the top here. So you already know that this is a brick of structure, right? Price had broken this particular resistance supply zone here. Okay, so most likely what we were expecting is that price will do what? Will come back to test that zone before going back up. So this is exactly what we're expecting. So this is going to fulfill the concept of break and retest. All right. Now let me quickly scale down to the lower time frame so that I'm going to show you why you should be looking for a sell opportunity on GBP JPY. Okay. So first, price came again, created a liquidity here, but you're not going to see that very clearly. So let me scale down to the 4-hourly time frame, right? So price came again, creating a liquidity here, but took out its own liquidity somewhere around this level. You can see that, right? So it cleared this liquidity, and then what happens next? All right, price initially, what was the structure? Higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher highs, higher low, another higher high, higher low. But then apparently this high low here was cleared out, as well as this high low that was here. So it simply means that this is a break of structure because price have apparently broken that structure, okay? The higher highs, higher lows have been broken, and now we are seeing lower lows. It simply means that we will be expecting a retracement back into somewhere, right? Somewhere, we don't know where it's going to be, but we're expecting a retracement back into a zone before price is going to officially sell off. Now, I taught you guys, for those people who attended the GoPro mentorship session last week, I taught you how to find those zones very easily. Take your Fibonacci tool and run that retracement. Okay. I'm coming. All right, so it would have been nice for us to take up our Fibonacci tool and run that from the top to the bottom. But because of the high impact news that affected this movement here, I think we will not have a clear movement or a clear way to determine that zone. But of course, I'm determining this zone using this imbalance that is here. There is a sort of imbalance that is here, and of course, an order block that causes that imbalance. Okay. Now, this other block costs the imbalance that is here. So I'm expecting that most likely prices will tap into this zone. So I've actually been waiting for this zone to be tapped into last week. So last week when this happened, prices came very close to it, did not tap into it and began to sell off. I was kind of like, okay, maybe it's one of those things that happens. But we still saw last week that price came back very quickly to tap into that zone. So already price is sitting around my point of interest. Okay, price is sitting around the area that I would be looking for a sell opportunity. Remember, why I'm looking for a sell opportunity is because of this break of structure here. So this is only but what a corrective move. I want to trade a continuation. Remember what I taught you guys are still in the GoPro mentorship. We have the impulsive move, and then we have the corrective move. Now, what I'm looking to trade is what's the continuation. So around this zone here is where I'll be looking for confirmation to trade. Okay, for those of you that still know how to do the confirmation, right? Basically what I do is use the commodity channel index, and of course once I see a change of momentum, right now we still have bullish momentum, so even if it's in my point of interest, I'll wait patiently because this point of interest can even be broken. Okay, so I'm going to wait patiently for price to confirm that there is a change of momentum from a bullish momentum to a bearish momentum, then I'm going to take it all the way down. And how do I do that? If you're new to this YouTube channel, probably you don't know how I do that. I use a commodity channel index with period of 20, all right? And then, of course, if price is moving above a positive 100, it simply means there is bullish momentum. But the moment it crosses from above to below the positive 100, it simply means that there's a change of momentum, right? Then I'm going to get a confirmation that, look, buyers are no longer willing to continue to push prices up, but we're going to be seeing a bearish movement. It simply means sellers have taken over the market. That's exactly what I'll be waiting for. But apparently over the weekend, I learned some new strategies which are super amazing. Maybe one of these days I'll get to teach you guys. So for me, I'll scale down to the 15 minutes time based on my strategy that I learned recently, and I'll be looking for a break of structure and a clearing of liquidity. And then, of course, that's going to give me the confirmation around the same zone. I'm going to be taking my price all the way down. But in either ways, it's still valid. Both ways are still the same. So if you're taking your entry level, if you get the confirmation that you're taking your entry level somewhere around here, this is a nice risk to reward of 1:12. Okay, so if you're risking 10, right, once you get a confirmation, if you're risking $20 on this trade, you're expecting roughly around $240, because we're taking the take profit all the way down. Okay, we're taking the take profit all the way down to this zone. Remember this zone now that I told you? Remember, it was significant for us, right? So I said this zone will obviously be tested again. And of course, that's what we're going to be expecting on this zone, okay? We're going to be expecting a retest on this particular zone here, okay? So don't be scared. You just ride it all the way down, especially that we saw if a change of structure here, right? This is a change of character here, because this low was obviously taken out. Price closed little below it, so we're expecting a bullish retracement and then a continuation all the way down. So don't be scared. So GBP JPY, look out for sell opportunity, and I believe this is going to fetch you money this week, right? And then as well, another trade I've got my eyes on is USD JPY as well. Similar thing that we're expecting to happen on USD JPY. So if you look at USD JPY on the 4-hourly time frame, yeah, if you look at USD JPY as well, this is the major swing low, all right, before all this bullish rally. But this major swing low as well has been taken off. It simply means we have a change of character somewhere around here. And then this is the bullish push that we're looking for. Then my point of interest most likely is going to be somewhere around here, where I have this other block that caused this whole imbalance that is here, right? But let's try the Fibonacci tool on this one if it's going to work. Okay, let's try the Fibonacci tool if it's going to work. And that's it, right? That's what we're looking for. A retracement into the 61.8 to 79% level, and of which price is obviously around that level. A retracement into the 61.8 or the 79 level. So within this zone here is where we are actually expecting prices to come into. We find confirmation on that zone and we take it all the way down. So this is simply amazing. So remember, I've earlier made a video on USD JPY telling you USD JPY is going to make you some good tons of money. But I told you, look for confirmation first. So last week when this started selling off, a lot of people were asking me on our group, on our WhatsApp group. Some people were private chatting me, coach, is it time for us to sell USD JPY? To some I replied no, but to some I simply did not reply, because they wouldn't just understand that price did not really come into a comfortable zone for me to sell. So I'm telling you this week that USD JPY is coming into that comfortable zone. So around this level here, already we see that price have tapped into, okay, already we see that price have tapped into, sorry. So already we see that price have tapped into this other block here, right? It just taps a little into it. So as always, look for your confirmation using your commodity channel index, okay? For those of you that know how to use commodity channel index, for those of you that still use some other methods for you to do confirmations, please go ahead, use those methods to do your confirmation before you are taking on this trade, okay? So what is that confirmation? I would most likely want to see the commodity channel index trade below the positive 100. That's to tell you that there's a change of momentum in the market, okay? Then, of course, that's going to be my confirmation, and I'm going to take a sell. But for now, it is in my point of interest. I'm not just going to jump in. I'll look for that confirmation, okay? Most likely another way to do that is to scale down to the 15 minutes time frame. And of course, I'll be looking at price clearing off this liquidity of clearing price giving me a change of character, okay? Price giving me a change of character here and then rallying back into this particular level here, okay? Price rallying back into this particular level here. That is the 142.341, 142.341. If prices come back a move after clearing this zone, okay, after clearing this zone, after having a change of character here, if prices come back into 142.341, that would be super amazing for me to take a short, a sell trade. And of course, me taking a sell trade, I will be riding it all the way down because already I've made a video. Maybe you should watch that video. This is a risk to reward of 1 is to about 7.5, which is still a very good risk to reward. But this is not all, right? This can also as well extend all the way down to this point, right? I simply just want to be conservative, okay? I simply want to just be conservative. If not, we can have a sweet 1:9 here and even far more than that, far more than that, right? So USD JPY is the second trade I'm giving to you this week. The next trade I'm going to be giving to you this week is gold, right? I know a lot of people would want me to give my own input on gold. So gold, actually, I got a sniper entry into gold buy, okay? And gold will be buying most likely up onto this level at around 1982 and even well beyond 1982, because on the bigger picture where I'm seeing gold going to is around this zone here, okay? Look at this zone here. That's where I'm expecting gold to come into. So let me just quickly show you that. So there was liquidity resting here, okay? There was liquidity resting here, and then this was a liquidity grab, okay? This was a liquidity grab here, okay? So this was a liquidity grab, and after that liquidity grab, right, after that liquidity graph, we saw a change of character, okay? Somewhere around this level here, okay? So somewhere around this level here, we saw a change of character as price closed below this level. Simply means that gold is willing to go all the way down, okay? Gold is willing to go all the way down. But we are not just going to rush into taking a sell trade because gold is willing to go all the way down. What do? We simply wait, right, for prices to come back into this other block that caused this imbalance here. And of course, this has not reached before prices were coming down. Those of you that watched the last weekly market outlook, I told you that I was expecting gold to rally up into 2010, okay? That is 2010 axis, okay? And of course, that's somewhere around this level where I've also mapped out. So I'm expecting gold to have a bullish retracement into this zone, okay, before selling off. Whatever thing gold is doing, I'm expecting him to come into this zone. I'll wait patiently and then take it all the way down. So what we're expecting gold to do, what we want to trade this week is this buy opportunity, all right, this stretch into our point of interest before coming down. And that's what I'm giving to you to trade. So if you look at it on the 4-hourly time frame, already it has started having that bullish movement, okay? So yes. You can have your stop loss very tight. This is a nice 1:8, 1:8.5. Okay, if you can still enter this trade here, okay, at the current market price, all right, somewhere around 1982, you can decide to take off your profit. Or if you want to wait till gold comes into 2010, then it's also simply amazing. But that's what I'm expecting of gold. Right, entry at the current market price. Stop loss should be below 1950. Okay, stop loss should be below 1950. It's currently trading. Gold is currently trading at around 1958. Okay, stop loss should be below 1949. 1949 should be less than or below 1949. But take profit should be around 1982 to 2010. Right, that's a good 1:5. It will present you with a good 1:5 to 1:9 risks, or 1:10 thereabout risks to reward. But currently the setup I have running now is a 1:8.5 risks to reward. All right, so I've given you three. I've given you USD JPY, I've given you GBP JPY, and I've also given you gold. Okay, now let me just make a little comment on Euro GBP as well before we go. Okay, so on Euro GBP as well, I got a very nice setup. In fact, if I show you my trade on EuroGBP, remember we've been on this EuroGBP trade for quite some time, yeah? So let me still explain based on this concept. I know I keep explaining because I am in this trade with all of you, with every one of you on EuroGBP. So first on EuroGBP, on the monthly time frame, we could see a nice trend line. Okay, it's not going to show very clearly on the weekly time frame, but this is how it looks like on the weekly time frame when I zoom out. Okay, then we saw a bullish flight taking off from here, and then again we saw prices respecting this trend line on the second occasion, and then this is the third occasion where price is respecting this trend line. Okay, so of course we're expecting a continuation, a buy continuation, and of course on the weekly time frame we see a bullish momentum, a bullish takeover in this market on EuroGBP. So basically we're expecting a push to the upside. So it doesn't really matter how long it takes, okay? But what we're seeing is what we're going to be trading. What we see is what we trade, okay? So what happens if we scale down to the lower time frame and the daily time frame? We saw this bearish retracement, because this was only a retracement to come back into our trend line, okay? So it was creating lower highs and lower lows, and all of a sudden we saw that price actually created a last, right? Swept liquidity, grabbed liquidity here to come into this trend line, gave a bullish confirmation by bullish engulfing pattern, and again, change of character here. And then, of course, we are expecting only but a little retracement into this zone, and price will make its way back up. Okay, so this is what we're expecting. After this, price come back, right, to this zone, and we're expecting it to go all the way up to create a high, higher than this previous high, right? So if you can wait patiently, I am fully sure that EuroGBP is going to fetch you real money. I'm on this trade, and for me, I'm holding this trade for as long as I want to hold it, for as long as this trade remains valid. In fact, I'm telling you, I'm holding this trade all the way to this level here. All the way to this level here is what I'm holding this trade. So this is going to present me almost 1:19 risk to reward. Now, let me just show you. Let me scale down to the lower time frame and see. Okay, just one more thing to show you on the daily time frame just before we go. I can also see a inverted head and shoulder pattern that is forming here. An inverted head and shoulder. Let me quickly show you. So I pick my head and shoulder tool, I present it here, all right, and then again here, this is the left shoulder, this is the head, okay, and then of course this is the neckline, this is the right shoulder, and I'm expecting it all the way to the top here, okay, all the way to the top. Now, if this is not properly drawn, of course, it's not going to fit him. But look at how it perfectly fits him. This is the neckline that we have here. This is the left shoulder. You can see, right? This is the left shoulder. This is the head. And of course, this is the right shoulder. And of course, that's what we're going to be expecting on EuroGBP in a bullish movement. Right? It's very obvious because our trade analysis is still very much valid. Right? Forget all these consolidations. Right? Prices will most likely break out and then continue to make its way up. Now, let me just quickly also touch the 4-hourly time frame so that we can see all that as well. Remember that here we've had the change of character. Yeah. Okay. We've had the change of character here. All right. So we were expecting prices to drive down. Okay. And then, of course, before it begins to go up. And I told you that if you're not used to finding other block and other little SMC concepts, I had to learn it because, of course, they are also good. Okay. So I had to learn it to also improve my own personal trading skills and prowess. So if you want to learn as well, you can also look forward to such kind of opportunities to also learn, or you be part of our GoPro mentorship. Obviously, one day I'm going to share a whole lot of what I know so far. Okay, so yeah, we pick up our Fibonacci tool and run it from the bottom all the way to the top so that we can know the depth of retracement. Right, running it to the top, the depth of retracement came exactly to the 79% level. All right, and then of course we see prices begin to go up. It simply means that we're still valid on our buy trade. Right now, using some SMC concepts, I see this particular other block here, and this other block costs a little move to the other side. I wouldn't want to call this imbalance because the candles are so small. An imbalance is a sharp movement in a particular direction, but obviously there's an imbalance here. So I was expecting prices to come into that imbalance. Now, very good. So what happens? We also have a bullish confirmation as well on that point of interest here. We have a bullish confirmation, and the bullish confirmation is yet to complete this bullish ride. That is to go above the positive 100. So irrespective of this hourly candle that is retracing, we're still expecting more bullish push to the upside. So this is going to present you an amazing 1:19 risk to reward ratio. I hope this makes sense, right? So I gave you 4 trades that is going to fetch you real money. Okay, let's see how they progress, and I'm also going to be dropping updates on all these 4 trades on our Telegram channel. Okay, so if you're yet to join our Telegram channel, simply go to Telegram and search for EQ Markets Global. Okay, simply search EQ Markets Global. Let me put it out here for you. Kindly search EQ Markets Global. All right, so that is our Telegram channel, or you'll also see the link in the description below. Just click on the description below. You find the link to join our Telegram channel. Follow us on Facebook, and as well follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and as well on this YouTube channel. Please, 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 for me to do something amazing like this for you consistently every month, every day, every week. I mean, guys, I need a little encouragement. So the best and the most I'm asking from you is to give a like to this video. Okay, just give a like to this video, give a like to this video, and as well, so that YouTube is also going to recommend this video to as many people that this video needs to be of help to. All right, so just give a like to this video. And one more thing, please, if you're new to this YouTube channel, do well to subscribe. Okay, subscription doesn't take anything, right? It doesn't take any peeps from you, rather it adds more peeps for you. Okay, it's your trading. So just do well to like this YouTube channel, do well to like this YouTube video, and then also subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can still find more amazing contents on this YouTube channel that we've done before, from training materials, live market session, live market analysis, and many, 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 many more on this YouTube channel. Okay, thank you so much once more. My name is 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗥𝗘, and I'm super delighted to share this moment with you guys. All right, bye for now, and see you till next week, Monday, for the next weekly market outlook.